Hello everybody, it's Chris with Citygirlhomestead. How are you guys today? So, gotta go do the dinner thing, so I am going to start dinner. So, who says you can't have Thanksgiving in January? I thought I was trying to think of something pretty easy. I've been trying to clean out some of my freezer and things like that, kind of rotate my stock, and because it's great to stock up on everything, but you want to make sure you use some of that stuff too. So I had some of this in the freezer, and I cut it up into little chunks. It's chicken. I think it's chicken thighs. And I cut it into little chunks. I put a little bit of butter in my pan. And I don't want to season it too much because I'm going to have a lot of flavors mixed in with one. So I'm just going to salt and pepper it. Alrighty, let's bring you over here. Now, in the back pan there, I have some water. And we're going to make some brown gravy. So I have a cup of water in there. And let's get our little whiskey thing here. There we go. We'll let that warm up. So, what I'm going to do, while that stuff is warming up, I'm going to bring you down here. And hopefully this pan is big enough. If not, then I'll have to get a different pan out. It'll be alright. So I'm going to spray the bottom of my pan. And then I took some cranberry sauce I had left over from the holidays in a jar. And I smushed it all up. So I'm going to coat the bottom of my pan with the cranberry sauce. And I'm going to use up the rest of my buns that were really big and use that for bread today to go with it. Alright, so I'm going to fry up the chicken, and I've got this already in the pan. So, and I've got the gravy going. I'll be back as soon as the chicken's ready. Alrighty, so the chicken is done. So now I'm going to take the chicken and spread it along the top of that, the cranberry sauce. Now if you got stuff you got to use up, we got to use our imagination and just throw together something good. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? It tastes like crap. That's what I tell Tom all the time. What's the worst that can happen? It tastes like crap. I don't know. I think the only reason I actually bought this chicken was because I don't usually buy anything that's not the white meat because I don't really like dark meat that well. But it was on a really good sale, like clearance for the next day or something. So I figured, what the heck. Alright, so now I've got the chicken laid out, and I've got some mashed potatoes put together. And these potatoes actually are from my Friday 5 that I did yesterday. So we can make it actually part of a main dish as well, not just a side dish. Alright, so I'm going to smooth that amongst everything. Cover it all over everything. Look at that. Alrighty. Now the next thing is, we're going to drizzle it with gravy. I'm going to try to cover the whole thing with gravy. I'm going to kind of put it all around there and let it go down the sides too. Now the other thing, I asked Jack's opinion and I asked my sister's opinion, and we ended up going with me and Jack's. Alright, so the next thing is I had that stuffing mix and I didn't cook it. So what I'm going to do is sprinkle it on top. I figured that some of the gravy will actually soften up some of it, but by just pouring it on top, it'll make a little bit of a crisp to it as well. So then, I'm not sure how long to put it in the oven for, but I'm going to put it in there for, you know what else I'm going to do real quick though, hold on. I just thought of something else I want to do to it too, hold on. Creative monster on the loose. I didn't need that, I needed this. You know how a lot of times if you put a little bit of butter on top, it makes things a little better. So I'm going to put a couple of dollops of butter on top. And that'll soften it just a little bit, I think. Somebody liked how I said mad scientist yesterday. But really, that's kind of what you're doing, is you're being a mad scientist and kind of throwing just stuff together. But I'm sure that's how a lot of, you know, famous cooks got things done, is by just mixing everything together. And if it worked, it worked. If it didn't, oh well. Alright, so I'm going to put it in the oven for at least probably 30 minutes to 40 minutes, probably. And then we're going to use up those buns that I made last night. We're going to use them for bread. So I saved them in a nice little gallon baggie. Bring you there so you can see. And I'm just going to take my bread knife and I'm going to make it into slices of bread. I was thinking about taking that recipe and making a loaf of bread out of it because, you know, you guys, this recipe is just amazing. It's so soft and it's just really, really tasty. And then I'm going to use what I have left of my butter that I made the other day, the honey butter. And we'll use that. So I think it does slice right into a pretty good piece of bread. I mean, it's not a big slice, but I think it'll work. So I'll be back when everything's done, and we'll give it a taste test with Tom. All right, there's Tom's dinner. He's getting excited. I don't have a name, so it's Thanksgiving in January.
We Thanksgiving next month too.
We can have Thanksgiving next month too if you want. Do you like the? I put the stuffing on the top for a crunchy bit. Does it taste good?
That's really good.
Can you taste everything put together?
Mm-hmm. This is for bread with the honey butter?
Yes, bread with honey butter. We think you're a barbarian. How's dinner, honey?
Excellent.
Made for a king.
Made for a king.
Goodbye, Tom.
Bye, Tom.
Hey, you gonna be there for live tomorrow at 6 o'clock?
Yep.
Gonna make cheesecake in a jar.
Ooh.
You get butter on your nose. That big old nose gets in the way sometimes, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Every now and then.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. You have a blessed night and be a blessing.